A judge has finally ruled on the Ed O'Bannon lawsuit. Those video games I enjoyed playing as young kids, and those videotapes that we all watched apparently were no good, and the players are going to have to be compensated for that in the future. We're looking at about $5,000 a player. Trevor, what do you think is going to happen in the future as far as playing players?
I mean, the judge's ruling was extremely ambiguous as to what exactly that means. It was, each school could pay them, was it a minimum of $5,000 a year, or that's the starting base point? There were a lot of questions. The NCAA is trying to appeal right now to figure out exactly what this means, especially for the incoming recruiting class. But I think this still just doesn't make sense at all. I mean, each player doesn't have the same value. It's just a slippery slope what's going on in the NCAA right now. And I think for them to truly find a successful answer to these problems, they need to open it up to a similar style that the Olympics currently have. Let each player dictate what the market will pay them. Stop worrying about how much each recruiter might pay a player if you completely open the system up. Michael Phelps gets endorsed by Subway and lots of other brands for his participation in the Olympics because he is one of the biggest stars. So let the Jameson Winstons, let the Vince Youngs, let whoever that may be that can command those type of endorsements get whatever they want, and don't pay, some second string wide receiver the same amount. It's a free market system. The best players are going to command what they deserve. And I really don't think you're going to have a problem with one school's recruiters all paying all these players and other schools not being able to afford it. As much as Phil Knight might have in the bank, he's not going to just start paying each one of these players millions of dollars a year when he doesn't see, once he starts seeing there's not as high a return as just, currently the way Oregon's play. Like, I don't think you're going to see recruiters dishing out millions of dollars every year for an endless amount of time.
Wow, I mean, I said that, I'm not to my own horn, but I'm going to toot my own horn for a second. I said that about 4 years ago, and I was harpooned by everyone I brought that idea to, saying that it was the stupidest thing they've ever heard. And now that's the idea that everyone seems to be coming to the conclusion that's the best way to go. And it's frustrating for me as a person because I know that mentally I'm superior to everyone else, and it's just taken everyone 4 longer years to realize what to do than it did me. But gosh, I mean, I don't think I agree with you. Paying them all the same thing is kind of stupid. It doesn't really make any sense. If you're the third string quarterback, barely makes a team, that's not the same thing as winning a Heisman Trophy. I'm sorry. It's just not. So you got to let these guys get what they can from the market. It doesn't make any sense to hold them back. It's just
and if you try to come up with some system, some slotted system on how much each position deserves or how much
joke.
It doesn't. It's never going to be as simple as that.
I totally agree, and it's a fair way. And even look at this. I mean, if you're a small school, the small schools might complain, oh, we're not going to get these guys. But what people don't think about is there's also local businesses that would probably jump at these kids. I mean, you're telling me you own a car dealership in Fresno, California. You're going to want some Fresno State football players helping to sell your cars and your commercials. And that's something that you would not get an opportunity if you were going to a UCLA and being the maybe third best wide receiver as opposed to being the best guy at Fresno State or something like that. So there are opportunities for these smaller schools to recruit some guys who may be at the top of the recruiting list, maybe at the bottom of some bigger schools' recruiting lists. Let them know, hey, you're going to be the biggest name at our school. Everyone's going to want you. So it creates even more of a balance, in my opinion.
Yeah, Tommy.
And I don't think anyone's even thinking about that.
Tommy, I think that's a really good point that you just make. It could potentially create more parity, especially when you consider, money that's generated from jersey sales. If you're going to become the star at Fresno State over a third stringer at USC, you're going to be selling a lot more jerseys. And if you're going to a smaller market that has a rabid fan base, they might be especially buying more jerseys than even if you're a decent player at a big-time school.
Yeah, and hey, not the harp on Fresno State. They got to get a program. I'm not trying to say that. I want to get that out of the way real quick. It's just the first small school that I could think of that was in California. We're just such California homers. I literally couldn't think of any other state, and so I just stuck in there with the.
Well, I don't think that's the
only
reason. I think you also have problems naming any small school in other states.
You got it. You don't even try and challenge me on this. I will smoke you in a small school naming contest.
We got 27 seconds right now. Name me 5 small schools not in California.
We define small school. It's still Division I.
All right, now you're just making excuses.
No. Seriously, is it Division I or does it have to be?
Seconds left. You're a classic politician.
Texas State, North Texas, UT San Antonio. We got UT Pan America. We've got Houston Baptist. What else is in Texas?
5,
West Texas A&M. Come on, Tommy.
The buzzer. You got saved by the buzzer.
University of Dallas.
You got Tommy.
Trinity
Tommy,
in
it's
Texas.
Over. It's over. We'll check back.
It's not
next
over.
week.
You didn't specify the rules. You didn't give me any sort of time period. I could have gone on and on
for
that.
Is I didn't even have to name any because the buzzer happened. So it's on.
Unbelievable.
It's on to the next topic, Tommy.
Unbelievable.